Yep, these are the DJI Action 2. Okay, so what should I do with this guy? What should I shoot it on, or what should I do with it? Maybe I should try to bring it out for a game of tennis? Maybe I should bring this out for a hike or a walk in the park. But let's talk about the design of this small little camera. Alright, it's actually a standalone camera. You can do all your recording on this guy. And it's just a small square shape. Let me try to pull my original Osmo Action. Just hang on. Okay, so this is my original DJI Osmo Action. The one that I kind of liked it a lot because it has front-facing camera. And then this is the DJI Action 2. See how small is that? And this unit itself is waterproof, and it has a single OLED touchscreen at the back here. And it has a built-in memory of 32 gigabytes, and it's waterproof up to 10 meters. And you have one physical button on top here, which allows you to start the recording, and if you depress it long enough, it allows you to switch different modes. Then on the camera itself, it's a f2.8 camera with a 155 degree field of view. And on it, there's a single microphone port. I believe this is the microphone port here. But importantly, this is a very modular DJI Action. Okay, why I say that? Because I got the DJI Action 2 with the dual screen combination, which means to say, okay, the base model would not have that. The base model just basically has a charging module for the other part, but this guy is a screen with a charging capability and also a micro SD slot. But look at this magic here. Yes, it clicks on magnetically, and these ports at the bottom are the ones that will communicate with the pins on the other module at the bottom. So this will just fit in magnetically, and it stays in place and is quite strong. And with this combination now, you will have a screen in front and of course another screen at the back. So this essentially becomes like a Osmo Action full size. Okay, so now let's talk about the dual screen unit. So basically the dual screen unit comes with USB-C charging. Well, let me see. Okay, you can see a USB-C charging port, and then on the back side of it, you can put in a micro SD card slot here, and it does have 3 more microphones here to give it that spatial or omnidirectional kind of a microphone capability, rather than when you just have the camera module itself that has only 1 microphone. But with this in place now, you have 4 microphones in place. But in this combination, you will not get any waterproof capability because this guy isn't waterproof. The dual screen unit is not waterproof. So you can't bring this underwater if you decide to include the dual screen unit. But this guy on its own, yes, is waterproof as mentioned before, up to 10 meters. But of course, if you still want to use this, you just need to get a case. I'll probably show something around here, but you can get a case, then that will make this entire module waterproof as well. So I want to show you some of the modes that you can do. Obviously, you can shoot wide, and you also can shoot ultra wide videos.
Okay, so this is the standard DWAP mode, and I mounted it on the dashboard, so you can see the distance is really getting very good coverage, and it's actually recording using the onboard microphone also. So what do you think about the onboard microphone? Just put your comments in the links below. And the next video now, it will be the wide. So this is the wide shot mode without the DWAP. So again, I do think you can see some of the curve at the sides, but that is your normal wide mode. And now we have the ultra wide. Okay, the ultra wide mode, 155 degrees field of view. You can see obviously now we can capture a lot of stuff within this frame. And for I don't know what about the DJI Osmo Action, the first gen, or even the GoPros, whether would have the same field of view, but this is amazing. You can really capture a very wide view. And again, recording on the microphone from the camera. So what do you think about the audio quality?
The key part is this magnetic mount. This can be mounted anywhere on various surfaces, anywhere that you might have some idea of doing a creative angle, or you just need to quickly mount something to a magnetic surface, or you can even place that magnetic surface somewhere that you want, and then because of this guy's magnetic capability, it will just stick on. And of course, it has horizon steady, so which means to say if you just turn in whichever direction, video will still stay at the same level. It will not switch to a different view, or you start to turn together with the motion of your hand. So that is horizon steady. But the cons is for horizon steady, you are not able to go up to more than 2.7K at 60 frames per second. If you go anything further than that, horizon steady doesn't become available. And also you can't change the field of view using horizon steady in any mode, which means that it always will be in the standard mode rather than going to the ultra wide. I think there are obvious reasons for that. So if you want to have a wide angle, but just take note, you will not have horizon steady. And of course, rock steady mode is available in the DJI Action. This is essential for any action camera. And well, I've done a video comparison here. You can have a look, but it really depends on whether you find it okay. But to be honest, it's great. But there are some couple of cons about this guy which I found out after using it for a while. Is number one, it gets very hot to touch. I didn't record it. I only recorded in 4K mode, and it got very hot to the point that you felt that when you hold it a bit longer, it's too hot. Okay, yes, it allows you to choose between a higher tolerance and the normal mode in terms of the heat. So I tried on the normal standard mode, and in my experience, after 3 minutes over, it just shuts off. And then when it gets better, then it starts recording again. And then when it hits the limit, it shuts off. So if you go to a higher tolerance, high temperature tolerance, I think it can last longer. But then again, this guy will get very hot to the touch. Maybe it's built to last and endure the high heat due to its case here. So, but then again, that's one thing you might want to take note. And then file transfer wise, you can actually just after you shoot on your main camera unit, you can just initiate an export of the files to the SD card on your dual screen unit. So that is one thing that you can save up space. This very flexible, but it does take some time, so you have to be aware if you're transferring a large file, but maximum anyway is 32 gigabyte. But for that matter, when you format it for the first time, it's only available up to 22 gigabytes. So if you were to transfer that size, it will take quite a while, maybe at least 10 to 15 minutes to transfer over. So if you have ever had any DJI device, the interface is pretty much the same. Then on the left side, you have the play button, right? So the play and pause is on the left side for your review. And if you were to swipe to the right side, then you of course have your exposure, your various settings. You can even change to the different field of views like wide or the ultra wide. But in this, yes, this mode doesn't have ultra wide. That I think is because I'm shooting in 4K 120. So talking about that, you can shoot up to 4K 120 mode, and usually I'll just shoot in 4K 24. But if you want to do some slow-mo and then after that post-process, of course you can do that. Then choosing your steady, as I mentioned before, only up to 2.4K at 60 frames can you choose horizon steady. So otherwise it's just rock steady. You can choose to switch it off. And you have different, okay, let's look at the 1080p. If you go to 1080p, going up to 60 frames per second, you can choose horizon steady. But if you go up to 120, or even, let's go up to 240, you won't be able to access the horizon steady anymore. And going on forward, if you were to swipe down, you have your various controls, and you can look at your storage, internal storage space, your SD card space, and you can format them here. And of course, as mentioned before, you can easily export to the SD card. And then we have other settings, the usual settings that you have. And I basically came in here and turned on the grid only. That's the only difference I checked and changed. Other than that, oh yes, the auto stop recording temperature, you can choose high temperature threshold or standard. But in my experience, if you choose standard, it will shut off quite fast, especially when you shoot in 4K mode. And on the top right, you have the battery indication, which shows you how much battery life that's left with. So handy reminder there. And yes, they have digital zoom, which I believe is up to 3x, but I believe it depends on what mode you're shooting at. So now if I were to shoot in the usual 4K 60 or maybe just 24 frames per second, and let's look at the digital zoom. The digital zoom now can go up to 4x. So of course, the front-facing camera will essentially have the same controls there, and you can easily just change the settings while you are doing your own vlogging, you know, looking at yourself, and you can actually just do the same functions as the screen on the main camera unit. So in the box, it comes with a couple of things. One is the standard kind of attachment that you get in most of the action cameras, where you can just put on your camera on it, and there you have it, and you can mount onto the device, or whatever you want to mount it on. And of course, you have this, I think what they call this, it's like a pivot stand, so you can change certain angles. And the best part is this guy is a sticky bottom where you can stick to various surfaces, then you can take at creative angles. And of course, you have your chest mount pendant, which, well, can be mounted in this way, right? So something along this line, you can put it like that, you know, mount it in the chest or connecting. All right, so that is a chest mount feature or pendant that you have. And other than that, there are just a couple of manuals inside there. And of course, I believe there are some cables. Yes, a USB-C to a USB cable. And yep, that's it in the box. Okay, so what do I think? I think this is a good camera, but at 700 over Singapore dollars, I'll put the price somewhere around here. It's not cheap. I think this guy, I got it at about 400 over dollars in Singapore. So this is a pure action camera, and yep, it's a bit more cumbersome. And this guy, the Action 2, is definitely more flexible and more versatile. But would you be willing to pay a few $100s more? It really depends on what you want to shoot. This guy can of course be placed in various angles easily and quickly, and with his modular function, I think maybe you can add something else further along the way. So in my opinion, it's still quite a good device. So you can try it out and see for yourself whether this thing will suit you. Well, thanks for watching this video. I hope you like it, and do consider to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button if you are here for the first time to support my channel, and hope to be able to churn out more videos like this in future for you. Peace!